I don't know. I just got started. At least an hour. Oh yeah, that'll be plenty of time. Yeah, because we're on. This is because I'm this. Yeah, we got plenty of time because I'm still on Central, so you're good. I'll be done way before you have to go. All right. Looks like we are online. Let me fix my cam. I'm not really on center. Okay, that looks better. Can everybody hear me okay? All right. Oh, good. We already got one request. We already got NVIDIA. Okay. Yeah, we'll start on NVIDIA then. As people get logged on here, I know I'm technically a couple minutes early here. If you've been to a Saturday morning coffee and you know you're going to enjoy this, make sure to hit that like button. If this is your first ever Saturday morning coffee, that's all right. No need to hit the like button because I understand you may not like what you experience here. But if you've been here before and you know you're going to like it, friendly reminder to hit that. And this will be viewer driven. So if you have a request for a stock, a futures market, a crypto, forex pairing, a question, whatever, this is all viewer driven, laid back, and we'll discuss, whatever. If you have a question about prop firms, prop firm strategy, anything like that, we'll talk about it, and hopefully have a good time. All right. I'd like to get a few more people on. Do you dabble in penny stocks? From what, like, no. Penny stocks are pretty much a waste of time. Not pretty much, they are. They're a total waste. Why? What interests you? Let me ask you this: what interests you about penny stocks? Michael, good morning. All right, let's get NVIDIA pulled up here because somebody did ask about NVIDIA. Actually, talked about this one yesterday, but I realized not everybody was on yesterday's live stream. Yeah, why are you doing penny stocks? And are you and the other question on top of that would be, are you a day trader? Are you a swing trader? Are you an investor? What category would you put yourself in? Day trader, swing trader, or investor? Or said another way, what would you like to be? Would you like to be a day trader? Because, for example, a lot of people would like to be a day trader. However, the pattern day trading rule is, preventing them from doing so, because the pattern day trading rule is just very restricting from a point of view of somebody that wants to be a day trader but doesn't have that $25,000. So, well, let's hop into NVIDIA here. Again, as I was telling people, I know there's some new people getting logged in. This is viewer driven. So we will go wherever you want to go, whether that's a request to look at something, or if you have a question about anything, if you have you want to talk something about prop firms, because for you, though, those of you that have been here, I'm a big prop firm believer with day trading and futures and all that. But yeah, we will start taking a look at NVIDIA here, and also $5 super chats. Make sure that I do your, I'll address your comment, whether that's a request or a question, immediately. You don't have to do a super chat. The only risk is I may not even see it, or by the time I get to it, it may be 20 minutes after you ask it or say it. And whether you're around after 20 minutes, only you know that. But that's the one thing. The volatility and potential for quick profits is what interests me in pennies, and I'm currently a day trader trapped in a swing trade because of the financial requirements. Okay, well, and then let me ask you this, because I don't want to tell you, in what country are you in? Because you got I don't know if that's your name or what, but you have a name that may suggest that maybe you might not be in the United States. So what country are you in before I kind of... Because, yeah, that makes sense. You're in the penny stock, so you want that quick movement. You want that quick volatility. So that would make sense why you would be doing that sort of stuff. Okay, so you're in the United States. Okay, well, I would encourage you to consider this very quickly. And that is what we call Pam's plan, which is day trading futures. Why would day trading futures be relevant to you? Well, first off, you want to be a day trader. But as you also admitted, that pattern day trading rule is getting in your way. So right from the get-go, futures will alleviate that, because in the world of futures, right here, there is no pattern day trading rule. So you can day trade futures as much as you want. And then, you want to do penny stocks because you want volatility. Well, I assure you, my friend, futures move, and they move. In fact, I will say this, they make penny stocks look like child's play. So if you're looking for movement, if you're looking for volatility, futures provide that, and better yet, they allow you to control it. So if it's a little too much for you, there's ways where you can manipulate it and get it right to the movement that you want. And then with prop firms, that's the second part. So day trade futures with a prop firm, you don't need to have a whole lot of money to get involved. And it has great risk control in the sense of that your money that's actually on the line is very much protected. So that's kind of a Cliff Notes version of get yourself away from penny stocks. If you're wanting to be a day trader, I understand why you do penny stocks for those reasons you described. But yeah, it's verifiably a waste of your time. And the easiest way to verify that being a waste of your time is somebody that says, I want to be a day trader, but then I'm restricted because of the pattern day trader rule. Well, then you're not even a day trader. So that one rule, it's like a logical contradiction. It's, I want to be a day trader, but there's this rule that I fall under that won't let me be a day trader. Well, then you're not a day trader. But if you do want to be a day trader, well, then that in and of itself right here, the P of PAMS, should be reason enough for you to get into futures trading right there, because there's no pattern day trading rule, and you do not need a whole lot of money, because with a prop firm, low capital is required. In fact, you could get started, just to give you, well, what sort of low capital. This is the prop firm that I use, and on the bare minimum to get $25,000 in purchasing power, the question becomes, do you have $105 in your pocket? If you do, then you could get started day trading futures and have the opportunity to make some really quality money. So there we go. Run, Forrest. Run far away from penny stocks quickly. But I do understand why you're doing them under your current circumstances. But now you know. Now you're educated, and there are better ways. All right. We had somebody who requested NVIDIA. ADO Analytics. I don't even know if ADO Analytics is still here. But we'll hop into NVIDIA from the daily time frame here. Sorry, good morning. Hey, you were here yesterday. So again, this is viewer driven. So if you have a request for a stock, option, crypto, Forex, futures, let me know if you have questions just about kind of anything, or if you have questions about prop firms or prop firm strategy, anything like that, let me know. So yeah, I try to pronounce your name. Person from Baltimore City. If you want to use the prop firm that I'm using and support the channel, then just use the link that's on the top of the screen, or that's pinned in the comment. If you use code Clay, you'll get the current promotion. And like I said, that's a way to support the channel. All right. Well, NVIDIA, like I said, I did this one yesterday, and from the daily chart perspective, I think it's all about this trend line right here, a fair conservative trend line. Yes, I left off the bottom down here, but if you use that as the backbone of the trend line, then you're going to get something like you would have gotten like a crazy wild trend line that's basically straight up. So like I said, I don't think that was a very reasonable trend line, but this one is more reasonable. And then you can see on that note, NVIDIA right now as we head into the new week is basically sitting, not basically, it is sitting right at that trend line right there, which prompts the question, is the price going to be able to hold this week? Are the bulls going to get some sort of bounce off of this? Or are the bears going to get some sort of movement to the downside and then pick up more downside pressure? So that, I'm trying to get a little bit more centered on camera. Maybe I don't think you guys really care, but or are we going to get more momentum to the downside? So that's really, what the daily chart is suggesting is we are at a very important area right now, and we'll see how it continues to behave from there. Let's go down to the 30-minute. 30-minute, and as I was talking about yesterday when I did this, does suggest that there could be a bounce off of that daily trend line. What suggests that there could be a bounce off the trend line? Well, we are now looking at the 30-minute time frame. So for any beginners, all that means is that each one of these candlesticks represents 30 minutes. So the chart we were just looking at, each one of those represented an entire day. Now each one of these represents 30 minutes. But here we're looking at a falling wedge pattern, which is a bullish pattern. Not just because something's bullish does not mean for sure guaranteed the price is going to go up, but it would not be unreasonable. I don't think it would shock anybody if the price all of a sudden decided to work its way to the upwards direction. So let me put a question mark there because I don't want somebody to log on and say that that's what I meant was for sure going to happen. But so NVIDIA right now got the 30-minute falling wedge pattern, which is forming right at that daily trend line. So we'll see if we can get a break in the upwards direction. Super Batong, hello. Let's see. Again, and if you're enjoying, make sure you hit that like button. But if you have a request for something, throw it in the chat room. If you have a question or whatever, let me know. Can you look at NQ? All right, let's take a look at NQ. We're just gonna drop down. We'll just start afresh. So NQ moving forward does have. You are welcome. Does have a bull pennant. So it's hard to refute that. Put the golf hole down here for you golfers. There we go. So bull pennant pattern. However, it's not the ideal bull pennant because it is occurring within an overall downtrend. So when we squeeze things down here, I state the obvious when I say that, but yes, there is, as of right now, over the past couple of months, an overall downtrend in the market. So with that being said, the bull pennant loses some of its attractiveness. Sure, it is still a bullish pattern. It's still a bull pennant. You can't refute any of that. All I'm saying is that its attractiveness is diminished a little bit because of the context that it's occurring in, and the context that it's occurring in is the downtrend right here. So that does not mean for sure guaranteed that this pattern is going to fail to the downside. So let me just... So again, just because it's in a downtrend doesn't mean that the price is going to break down through here and then get continuation back to the downside. That's not what I'm saying is for sure going to happen, because there's no such thing as a for sure. But would it shock anybody? Would anybody be like, whoa, I did not see that coming? Wow, how did that happen? How did the price not, how did that bull pennant not work out with a breakout to the upside? I don't think anybody would really throw out those questions. I think most people would be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Bull pennant and overall downtrend. So that is going to be, kind of the key, just overarching question as we head into the new week. And then I do want to get this in play because this is going to be what we'll keep in mind as we drop down to lower time frames. So let's go to the hourly time frame. So hourly, that is where, in fact, I should change that to green to represent a support. So we have that as the overarching level. Now, in the very near term here on the hourly time frame, again, for any beginners out there, hourly meaning each one of these candlesticks represents 1 hour's worth of time now. But here you can see that we now have the pink line, which is a 200 period moving average, which has been acting as a support recently. So ideally speaking, what would make this look the strongest from a bullish standpoint? Definitely if the price can continue to stay above that 200 period moving average. But if the price falls below it, I wouldn't say it's the end of the world or anything like that. Why? Well, because as just discussed on the daily time frame, you do still have that overarching trend line right there. Now, if the price blasts down through that level, that's where things could, that would be a potential leading indicator that it's going to be a pretty bearish week with a lot of bearish momentum. But as of right now, not only is the price not testing this trend line, it's been doing a good job of holding above the 200 period. And then main area of resistance headed into next week is all about the purple line up here, the 50 period moving average. You can see several times the price has gotten, never hit it, but somewhat close to it, somewhat close to it, somewhat close to it, and it just can't quite, I guess, kind of, sort of, somewhat close to it. But that'll be that first key battleground to see if the price can push up through it. And if the price can push through it, stay above it, then yeah, you could start to maybe make a case that the bulls are potentially starting to build some momentum and maybe, find some upwards pressure. And, let's drop down just to the 30-minute, make sure we're not missing anything. So I'm curious. Okay, so right here we have the 200 period, and its value on the 30-minute time frame is 18. Let's call it 750. What is 18,750 on the hourly? 18. Okay, no, I was wondering if that was going to match up right there, but it doesn't really. So never mind on that one. So again, you see again, this is the trend line that's coming from the daily time frame, and then 30-minute is suggesting that overall you have a potential problem point right there, that 200 period moving average, which just has acted as resistance. But I think the more interesting one is going to be the hourly time frame and just whether or not the price can get a push up through that purple line right there. So that is the NQ. Thank you for the request. If my portfolio doing the cha-cha-cha, 2 steps down, 1 step up, am I day trading or just, well, if you have a portfolio, then you are not day trading. Day trading, by definition, is you don't have a portfolio because you don't own anything overnight. Like when you are done trading, I mean, like you don't have anything in the category of day trading. Now you can be a day trader that's also an investor, like me. Like I have a portfolio, but that's over here in the investment category. But in the day trading category, you would not have a portfolio. So it's kind of a contradiction of terms. Are you day trading? But you're talking about a portfolio. No, no. You're now. I think what I would say you're investing if you have a portfolio. But day traders don't have portfolios because they don't own anything over the long term. They're just buying and selling, buying and selling, buying and selling, buying and selling. So to answer your question, am I day trading or just dancing with disaster? I would say you are investing. And if it's 2 steps down and 1 step up, then it sounds like it's not the greatest investments you're in. Because it should really be 2 steps up, 1 step down, right? So no, you are definitely not day trading if you have a portfolio. That would be investing, and it sounds like your investing is not going the way that you'd prefer it to. Good morning. Is it enough to trade using just RSI and MACD? I've seen stocks bounce between RSI 30. Well, no, you're going to need a little bit more than the RSI and MACD. If only trading were as easy as looking at the RSI and MACD and saying, oh, it's signaling overbought. Oh, it's signaling oversold. Unfortunately, it's going to take more than that. As far as how can I make this strategy safer, that's a very in-depth. I mean, I can give you an answer. Make sure the risk is worth the reward. But like, I do also understand, like, well, what does that mean? And that's the whole point. So I will send you a link to what I have to offer, and you can do with it what you will. So like I said, this is just, you asked, and this is where you would be, because that's a good question, but it's a very in-depth question, and one that, so there you go. If you are interested, that's where you can get the answers to more. So pretty much, how can I make this strategy safer? Okay, you're basically asking, how can I build a strategy for myself? And that's what that will help you with right there. Can you look at MSTR, please? All right, let's take a look at MSTR. You are welcome. So we'll start on the day. Okay, so let's see. Where are we at relative to this line right here? Yeah. Okay, getting close. Could I even extend this out some more? Yeah, kind of. Pretty close to that, even that level right there. But anyways, so this is a trend line that you got to think a lot of people have drawn. So I'm not trying to impress you as I draw that. And I just make that comment because when a lot of people are watching the same trend lines and wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some very dynamic movements. So that's what I think a lot of people will be watching that trend line. So while that doesn't, because there are no guarantees, but is it valid to think that if the price comes up to this area and then breaks up through it, that break right there could create additional buying pressure? I think that is a valid thought to have. So yes, it is, and it's knocking on the door. It is knocking on the door of a very key overall trend line. Like I said, that thing's going back to late November. So multi-month trend line here. The price is hovering right below it, and it's hovering right below it with basically a little miniature bull pennant pattern right there. So, but the tricky thing here is it could, in theory, break out through the little bull pennant and then still be slightly below that level right there. So if anything, I would just use that part, or maybe say if you use the trend line right there as the top part of the pattern, and then if you use the 50-day moving average right there as the bottom part, and then you do that, you could have yourself a nice little bull flag there. So that's probably how I would approach it. But yeah, that's interesting dynamic there. So yes, I would say that is by far the most, probably the key thing on what any time frame is going to be that overall trend line right there. Looking here at the 30-minute, 30 minutes doing a good job of respecting that 50-period moving average. You can see, I mean, I'm not going to count the number of times, but many times the price has gone above there. Now, if the price does not hold above the 50-period moving average, does that mean it's the end of the world? I wouldn't say that because you still do have the 200-period moving average down there. Oh, excuse me. Valued at that area right there. So, yeah. Let's drop. Yeah, like I said, I on this one, I think it's pretty cut and dry. The price is knocking on the door of a very, very important area of resistance. So in my opinion, it's really just a question of is the price going to be able to push up through that level? That'll be the main question for sure. Again, if there's any request, could be for a stock, could be for a crypto, could be for a futures. Good morning, Joey. Let me know if you have a question about anything. If you have Ketha Thunberg. Did my answer make sense? Like, are you? Are you wanting to be a day trader? Do you think you're a day trader? Like that was a little peculiar to you because really portfolios and day trading don't go in the same sentence. But does anybody have any requests for anything? By the way, what is everybody's Saturday morning drink of choice? I got just the black coffee. No cream, no sugar, nothing. Nothing. Yes, they are legit. I have been paid several occasions. Many members of my community have been paid on several occasions. So they are legit. They've been around for a while. I guess that depends on how while. But they've been around. They're good. They are good. In fact, what was it? I think last week showed the I don't even know, your payment's been approved email thing, and it was like mainly just because I wanted to show the timestamps of how quick it actually was. It was like you requested the payout, then I want to say it was like 4 hours later, if I remember right. Like I said, it was on last week's live stream somewhere. So if you feel like digging through the hours of footage, or you can just take my word for it. But if you don't want to believe me, that's fine. That's fine. No offense is taken. You can. That's why I like the live stream. You can just dig back through the live stream and find it. But yeah, they're legit. They're legit, and that's why I recommended them, because I was super sketchy or super leery of prop firms, and why I didn't really use them for the past 2 or 3 years. But enough members of my private community, especially the ones that I trust, the really good traders, they're like, I'm going to give it a try, Clay, because worst case it's a scam and I'm out $100. But long story short, they've been using them. They've been getting paid. And so I'm like, all right, let's give it a go. And yeah, it's been a good. So yes, I don't, but you're smart to be skeptical, because yeah, some of them out there are a little shady, but Take Profit Trader, the one that I'm using, recommend. They're good. They're good. Something new. You are welcome. Yeah, you are welcome. Something new on penny stock. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Something new on penny stock. My only thing would be, why are you wasting your time with penny stocks? What attracts you to penny stocks, Victory? Why are you spending any time at all with penny stocks? What's your thought process there? I bet I have a better solution for you. I bet I have a better solution, and I can prove it. How about AMD? And by the way, what they were asking about is right here. Just Take Profit Trader. This is the prop firm that I use and recommend. That's at the top of the screen. So you pick your purchasing power that you want. So if you want 100,000 in purchasing power, it'll cost you $231. You got to pass the test. After you go from the test phase into the pro phase, then once you start to make money, you get to request that money. You get to keep 80% of it, which is not too bad, because they're taking on your capital is protected, because if you go and you fail the test or you lose the account, losing the account means you lost for $3,000. Well, you didn't lose $3,000. You only lost the cost of the account, which would have been right there. So that's just a crash course explanation. Good morning, Clay. Wish you a good weekend in East. Yes, same to you. Same to you. But yes, it is a concern with prop firms. Hey, does this one have a track record of actually paying people? And the ones that I use, I only recommend 2 of them, because I only want to put my name by ones that have a track record of paying. So Take Profit Trader is one of those, and then I do recommend one other one. All right, AMD. All right, let's take a look at AMD. Who requested this one for MO Surge? All right. Victoria, still, same question. I don't know what you meant by something new on penny stock, but my question to you is, why are you even wasting a single second of your time in penny stocks? What is attracting you to penny stocks? I bet I have a better solution for you. So hopefully you're not one of these people that I've learned. People tend to just type stuff in the chat and then they just leave. They ask a question and then they just leave. So hopefully this is not one of those cases. But all right, AMD. So important level here that stands out to me right away on the daily chart is right here at, what is that, about 84.80. You can see right there acted as support, right there acted as support. So you could make the case, hey, is this some sort of double bottom that's taking shape? You already had a bottom 1, bottom 2, and now you're starting to get a little bit of a bounce, but is this bounce going to get more continuation as the week plays out? If the price does not hold above 84.80, then If the price does not hold above there and breaks below it, again, that just basically violates all this progress, and now it's starting to put the price down in here. So I don't want to say 84.80 is like a do or die level, but yeah, the chart just from an attractive standpoint is not going to look very attractive if the price does fall down through that area. So preferably speaking, want to see the price stay above there. All right, let's drop down to the hourly time frame. So hourly time frame, right here, that 50 period moving average going to be that initial key area of resistance. Right there, currently valued at 90.50. Nice to see this holding up, though. That would be ideal. Again, not the end of the world if the price falls below that area, because as we already discussed on the other time frame, you still have 84.80. But in terms of what would make AMD look the strongest now moving forward, certainly if this area here can continue to hold strong. But like I said, that would by no means be like a do or die must hold level, because you still got 84.80. And then if the price can push up through that purple line there, I mean, really nothing until this gap close location up there. Now, that doesn't mean that it's going to go straight up there or anything like that. I'm just saying that there's quite a bit of space that opens up here on the chart. So there is a look at AMD. MSTR is the new AMC. No. AMCA or AMC and GME, they had like literal cults. Like it was like cult-like following. MSTR was not. I mean, yeah, there's some hardcore people out MSTR. I'm not disagreeing with that, but AMC and GME was like a literal cult. Like, and I mean that like in the literal sense. It was crazy stuff. When making quick intraday decisions, do you monitor multiple indices in parallel to gauge market sentiment, or do you stay low first on the price action of the specific? Well, I don't trade stocks. I trade futures, and the reason for that is it makes. And so that's right here is with futures you don't have to scan. You get to save yourself time. You get to save yourself maybe money if you pay for scanners. But with futures, and this is again, if you're new, this is Pam's plant. This is an argument for day trading futures through a prop firm, but. Yeah, I trade the same thing every single day, which is great because I don't have to spend I don't spend a single second scanning for anything. I just wake up, I roll out of bed, I sit down, and I pull up the NQ because that is what I'm trading, which is the futures market. Because the same thing every single day gives you multiple opportunities. So literally no reason at all to look for stocks to scan for what's the hot crypto today, what's the hot stock for today, no. You don't have to do any of that. Massive time saver. Futures are awesome from the time saving standpoint. Now, as you see here with Pam's plant, there's many other reasons why they're awesome, but that is one reason alone. Is I am not looking at. I don't trade stocks. Now the emphasis here is day trading. Day trading stocks, day trading options, day trading crypto, day trading forex is a waste of your time. It's a stupid use of your capital because you're taking on way more risk than you actually need to. And like I said, I know these are strong words on my part. But to be quite frank, it's not even an opinion. Like that is the mathematical fact, and I say mathematical fact because I can mathematically prove why what you're doing with if you're using your own money and if you're doing all this stuff, it just doesn't make any sense. So yeah, I am not day trading stocks, and if you want to day trade, I would stay away from stocks. And the easy one there is, I mean, if you're if you don't have $25,000, well then you can't day trade stocks because you only get 3 day trades every 5 days. So that in and of itself should defeat most people for stocks and options is the P of Pam, which is why I started there. Stock and options traders, unless you have $25,000, you're not allowed to be a day trader. Because why? Well, there's that thing called the pattern day trading rule. However, in the world of futures trading, there is no pattern day trading rule. You can day trade as much as you want every single day. So that is one of those things where I think it makes it a no-brainer decision. Have you looked into time lag correlations across Bitcoin? Goodness, you're making this trading thing, Keta Thunberg, you are making this way more difficult than it needs to be. Goodness, cross correlation analysis no, I don't do any of that crap. You're proving my point. Look at you're talking about cross correlations between Bitcoin and MicroStrategy and Coinbase. Good grief, just pull up a future and trade the future. Oh. I'm gonna break out into a cold sweat reading all this, but I mean that's the point. I'm being a little dramatic because yes, that is the point. Think about what they're asking. Are you looking at like cross correlations between this? No, I'm not. I'm saving myself time. I'm saving myself headache. I'm saving myself brain energy. No, I don't care about cross correlations between no, I'm just looking at the chart and I'm trading the chart and I'm trading that same chart every single day. How nice is that? How powerful is that? How non-headache inducing is that? I mean, don't get me wrong, Keta Thunberg. I appreciate the way your brain works. I mean, you're playing some like 4D chess there, but good grief, I'm telling you, there's a little bit more of an efficient and a little bit more of a straightforward way. But again, as a former engineer, I appreciate the way your mind is working. But I'm telling you, I mean, and all I'm asking, do you have $25,000? That would be my other question to you, Keta Thunberg. Do you have $25,000? I know it's a personal question, but it carries quite a bit of relevance for this discussion, especially if you want to be a day trader. Can you look at Okay, let's see. I'm in a short Clay. Roger that. MO. Yeah, I'm STR. Trading or forecasting. There's no difference there. I enjoy your YouTube content. Well, thank you, Silverstar Orders Ohio. Look up MSTR. There are communities for it. Well, I mean, yeah, there's always communities for it, but I just disagree that it's at the same level of AMC or GME. Those were like categories unto themselves. So yeah, no, and there's always, I mean, iHub, Investors Hub, is where you have communities for every single stock out there. All I'm saying is the community of AMC and GME was just bonkers. Futures have a higher ATR, which translates into more profits. That is correct. Of course, that is a two-sided coin, which is why risk management is important. Are you trading now, and how? Thought this stock market? Well, Joey Espinoza, what? You're not newer, are you? Don't you know that I don't day trade stocks anymore? Day trading stocks is garbage. Pure waste of time. Come on now, Joey. I know, I've recognized that name. You know that I'm not You must be a different Joey. Because the Joey that I'm thinking of has been around a long time to know that the stock market is not open on Saturdays and would know that I'm not day trading stocks anymore. Day trading is too time intensive. What are you talking about? How is it too time intensive? You don't have 30 minutes? You don't have 30 minutes in your schedule. Trading the same asset every day also gets you better understanding that. Yeah, exactly. Yep. I do a 50K. Oh, well, congratulations. Good job. You're doing well in life. But invested in stocks and currently holding because I've lost a lot of money the last few weeks. Okay, yeah. So you're not day trading, Keta Thunberg. You're just flat out investing. But you're basically proving the point. Like I said, good job for you. Whatever you're doing in life, you're doing well if you have $50,000. But this is the problem, and this is the whole idea of Pam's Plant and a prop firm, the added risk control and protecting your own money. Because yes, there's been no doubt about it. The past few weeks have been very sketchy, and as you're witnessing right now, because you're using your own money, yeah, you're feeling every shred of that pain. Where with a prop firm, you don't feel every shred of that pain because of the rules. Sure, maybe the quote-unquote pain might be $3,000. And if you lose $3,000 within the prop firm world, yes, you will lose your account. You can always get it back for $100. We'll call it the try again fee. So you can always get it back for $100. But when you have those movements that maybe lead you to losing $3,000, if it's your own money, well, that's literally your own money. That's $3,000. But in the prop firm world, it's not. You lose the account, but what it actually cost you was, well, just the cost of the account, which was $231. But again, they'll let you get this account back, but the second time, it's only $100. So even if something crazy happens there and you lose another $3,000, well, did you actually lose $3,000 out of your pocket? Well, yeah, if you're using your own money, you are. But with the prop firm, no, you're only losing that $100. So that's what I mean. It makes literally no mathematical sense to be day trading and doing this stuff with your own money. Because sure, the argument is, well, yeah, but I get to keep 100% of my profits. And prop firms, they don't necessarily let you keep 100%. That's true. That's fair. But I'd rather sacrifice a little bit of profits as opposed to having to eat every single shred of that risk. So yeah, maybe you get to keep, not maybe, with your own money, you do get to keep 100% of your profits. But you know what? You also get to keep 100% of your losses, 100% of those crazy moves, 100% of those days where you go on tilt, you lose your mind. Yeah, that's still 100% of your losses. But in the prop firm world, if you lose your mind, if you go on tilt, you revenge trade, you force trades, you FOMO, whatever it is, or maybe you just get stuck in a crazy move. Sure, in this situation of the 100,000 account and you lose 3,000, okay, that's 3,000, but not of your money out of your pocket. It would only be the cost of that account. And then real quick, wait, Clay, this sounds like a scam. How can this company stay in business if they are allowing you to give them 231, but then they're okay with you losing $3,000 of their own money? Very good question. This is all occurring test phase in a simulated environment. So there's no money being lost. In all actuality, there's no money being made. This is just a test to see if you can prove yourself and then move into the pro account. And on the pro account, like I said, is where you start to get paid. So I've had some people point that out. And that sounds kind of scammy. How is that even a profitable business model? And also on that note, some people are like, that sounds like a scam. So you make $6,000 during the test phase and hit your profit target, but then you don't get to keep any of that. All you get is moving into the pro account. Well, no, that's not how it works because there wasn't actually $6,000 made. So it kind of cuts both ways. But so yes, good job having $50,000. But unfortunately, and I'm not trying to rub salt in your wound, you're experiencing exactly what the whole idea behind this is I'm talking about here. You can protect your own money, but right now with all $50,000 on the line, yeah, you're feeling the pain with all $50,000 that you have on the line. So like I said, not trying to rub salt in your wound, but it helps kind of illustrate the point here. I misspoke. Day trading is mentally intensive. Yeah, well, you do what you got to do. But I don't know, you're asking about WHLR, which I know is a garbage stock. How is that not mentally intensive? Why are you trading such garbage? Right? Is this like a $2 stock or something? Or did I have it confused? Oh, yeah, no, it's the one. How is this not mentally intensive? What are you doing? You won't day trade, but you'll day trade or you'll swing trade crap like this? What are you doing? Look at this thing. What are you talking about? You were trading a mid six-figure account. Well, it's not going to be six figures very long trading or swing trading stuff like this. I hope you just got in. Maybe I'll try to look at this as a, or I don't know. Did you start off as a seven-figure account and now it's mid six? Good grief! What are you doing with stuff like this? This is garbage. Pure garbage. I mean, yep. That's a rough one. That's a rough one. Okay, good. You just got in. That's fantastic. That makes me feel better. But yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'm glad you're swing trading. I'm glad it's not an investment. So hopefully you're just looking for some little small move up. But yeah, I don't. To me, I just have to laugh. Like I'm shocked. Like your claim is day trading is too mentally intensive, but you're willing to hold things like this overnight when there could just be a gap down just like that. That freaks me out. To swing trade, to hold overnight, things like this, that seems mentally intensive to me. Holy smokes. I don't know how do you even sleep at night? How do you sleep at night? At least with day trading, if something goes wrong, you can get out immediately and it's still in your control. With swing trading, especially on stuff like this, I mean, all it takes is something that this thing gaps down on you and whoops. The human mind is a crazy place. We're all different. We're all different. This person thinks trading is mentally intensive, or day trading is mentally intensive, yet they'll go and hold overnight, take on that overnight risk of things like this. That's wild. Wild how the human mind works. We all have our little, I guess, personal risk tolerances, that's for sure. But yes, my thoughts on this is pure and utter garbage, and I hope it works out for you. I hope it works out for you. But you have bigger nerves than I do. I'm just trying to think. I don't know if I've ever, and I'm trying to think, started the channel in 2013. So I've interacted with many traders over the decade plus sometime. I don't know if I've ever been like, no, day trading is way too mentally intensive for me. And then they're like, yeah, but can you look at this? I'm swing trading it. And then I look at a chart like this. And a swing trade, again, if you're newer, means that you're not going to buy and sell on the same day. You're going to buy and maybe sell the next day, maybe sell a few days from now, maybe a couple weeks from now. That's what a swing trade is. But the fact that you're holding overnight, who knows what might happen overnight where you get a gap, and it could be a nasty gap. Like I said, it's just there seems to be such a disconnect there. But yeah, we're all different, I suppose. That's kind of weird. That's funny. That I think that might be a first. My bad. Was just the. Oh, come on, Joey. Don't be playing the victim card. It was just a question. It was just a. No, and I must. I'm just saying. I must have you mixed with somebody else. Because the Joey that I thought would know that the stock market is not open on Saturday. So yeah, you must be a different Joey. You must be a different Joey. So so yes, no, the stock market is closed on the weekends. I'm not doing any live trading, just taking requests. We're kind of shooting the breeze, having some discussions, just hanging out on a Saturday morning. And you mentioned day trade or you mentioned the stock market. I don't day trade stocks anymore. That is garbage and makes no sense. So sorry about that, Joy. Yeah, I just thought you were somebody else. But yes, because like I said, the Joy I knew or the Joy that I thought you were would have known that the stock market is not open on Saturdays. Enjoy. Yeah, Ryan, you enjoy your Easter too. Can you name some prop firms that are commonly used by traders? Yeah, the two that I use are. I kind of break it into two categories. The first one I say for beginners, if you're just new, this one right here, which is Take Profit Trader, very straightforward, not a whole lot of rules, just very cut and dry. They have a great payment policy, great payment flexibility. So if you are new to the prop firm world, I would go with the one that I'm using and recommend Take Profit Trader. However, I will also admit that if you're an advanced prop firm trader, meaning you're not intimidated by a few more rules, you understand how prop firms work at a deeper understanding, then I do also recommend Apex. I do not use Apex, but the reason I use them is they have a track record of paying people. Yeah, but they just have more rules. So this is why I call them more of an advanced. But if you are somebody that uses Apex and you're looking to pick up more accounts or maybe give them a try and you want to support the channel, then you can get their 80% off right now, code CLAY. But those are the two that I recommend. Take Profit Trader for everybody, even veteran people. But if you want to expand more out, because you can always trade multiple accounts. So if you want more than the 5 accounts that Take Profit Trader gives you, Apex gives you, I think you can go up to like 20 accounts with Apex. And then you can copy trade and stuff like that. And then, which is just, you can explode profits. Of course, that's a two-sided coin. But those are the two that I feel comfortable putting my name next to. I know a lot of other live streamers, they have like 5, 10 prop firms but for me, and maybe as I look into more, maybe I'll talk about more. But right now, those are just the two that I talk about because of, like I said, my experience with Take Profit Trader so far has been great. They've paid quickly. The money's been in my account quickly. And then Apex is, they're kind of at the pinnacle right now. And a lot of people complain about certain things. But that's why I say, well, those people that are complaining were probably people that should have just done Take Profit Trader, because those people don't understand the rules. And then they throw themselves in the Apex waters and they're like, well, I'm getting scammed. It's like, no, you just threw yourself into waters where there's more rules. Like, this is more of an advanced prop firm. So Apex is not a scam, but I would say that it could feel like a scam if you're brand new to the world of prop firms. Whereas Take Profit Trader is just a whole lot more straightforward. So like I said, but if you want to use either one, and if you enjoy the content, if you enjoy my YouTube channel as a whole, if you enjoy the live stream and want to support it, then code CLAY. And it's kind of become the joke now with some of you. Because I do have 6 kids, so my new argument is my kids have to eat. So, and if you don't use code CLAY, that means you support child starvation. Because unless you use code CLAY, my kids aren't going to eat tonight. So, please don't be in support of child starvation. Use code CLAY. Feed my kids. Feed my kids. All right. I'm married to an engineer. Oh, bless your heart. I'm interested in leverage ETF. I've earned a lot by swing trading them a bit and holding. But yeah, everyone is an expert in a bull market. I know. Well, I mean, if you're swing trading, if that's your bread and butter, that's fine. And I'm not ignoring anybody's comments. But like I said, again, that's where a $5 super chat. If you have something that you want me addressed right away, then just do a $5 super chat. If not, I'm working my way through the chat room. So patience is required. Yeah. Okay, yep, yeah. So Pam's plant, this right here, is not an argument for investing or for swing trading. This is specifically designed for day trading. And it's either somebody that is a day trader but is looking for something better, or they want to get into day trading. That's what Pam's plan is designed for. But it's not in the category of a swing trader or an investor. So yes, and you can totally be both. You can be a swing trader and then do day trading also, or you can be like me. I have an investment portfolio, but I'm also a day trader. So They're not mutually exclusive or anything like that. No way would I. Okay. Buying when the market's dropping is a tough skill to develop. Do you think we saw the NQ low? Oh, I have no idea about the NQ low. No, I have no idea. I don't really care either. I mean, because as a trading standpoint, whoops. As a trading standpoint, you take it day by day. Take it day by day. And from an investment standpoint, I mean, I think that what I hold right now will be higher 20, 30 years from now when I actually care about it. But if I do my job right, I'll never have to sell my portfolio. I'm just going to live off the cash flow. And then ideally hand it off to my kids, or I don't know. I don't know what we won't get into estate planning right now. But yeah, point being is I really don't care about if we saw the low or not, because from a day trading standpoint, I mean, I'm just going to trade it. But from an investing standpoint, oh well. I think we'll be in a better spot 20, 30 years from now. Neil, also, do prop firms screen you on your income to qualify you for eligibility? Good question, but no, they don't. All they screen you on is this right here. If you have $105, then they'll let you try to pass test. All they care about, what is qualifying you, in your words, is just can you pass this test. And for this size, for the 25,000 purchasing power, you've got to be able to make $1,500, but they don't want you to lose $1,500 on the. Let's just look at the 75. So 75,000 purchasing power, they want you to make 4,500, but you're not allowed to lose 2,500. So the more I look at this one doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I do not understand the logic in doing a 75K account. You got to make 4,500, yet you're only allowed to lose. Yeah, that one. Yeah, and that's why I've never even done that one. I've passed all the other tests, but I've never passed the 75 because I've never tried it because I just don't. And maybe there's somebody here that can point out what if I'm missing something. But this just seems really backwards. You've got to make 4,500 because at least with this one, right? What you have to make is the same that you have to lose. With the 50K, yeah, you got to make 3,000, but it's 2,000, which seems reasonable. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. But anyways, so back to your question: do they screen you? Yeah, this is the screening process right here. The Pro and Pro Plus is where you start to what are called payouts. You get paid. But the screening, so, I mean, if you just want to play, this is the screening right here. So for your question, this is the screening. Well, S for screening. So this is the screening phase right here. And then, well, what's the screening criteria? Right here for each one of these. So on the 50K. Now, I say pass within a month. On Take Profit, you have to do at least 5 days in the test phase. But you can take as long as you want, but I just say do it in a month because that way you don't have to pay this fee again. And the nice thing is, after you do pass the test phase and you move to the pro phase, there's no more monthly fees. So all in with the current promotion, you could be all in for $119. So you could be $119 and then that's it. And then if you go and you make $5,000, well, you just invested $119 to make $5,000. And I say that because let's say you make $5,000 and then you lose your mind, you go on tilt and you blow up and you lose the account. Again, losing an account does not mean that you lost, those thousands of dollars. It just means that, you violated the rules and you can always get the account back and try again. But if you can make, let's say, $5,000 before you lose the account, well, that's a good return on investment. $119 to make five, or even if you can make $1,000, right? So that's where it's a great return on investment because at risk the entire time, you would just have $119 in. But that is the screening period. Do you mind explaining the drawdown intraday once you're in the pro account? Yeah, it just follows you. It follows you up instead of at the end of every day. It just follows you up during the day. So it's just something where you're going to want to be a little bit more aggressive with your stop. Move up your stop. So if you're in a winning trade and it starts to go in your favor, just move that stop up as it goes, and that'll, that's the best way to deal with that. Malik Baker, I am really 100% agree with you. Day trading is you are in total control, but swing you can get big hurt. Yeah, exactly. Swing trading. Now, to be fair to swing traders, you could be in, and then you could get a massive gap up in your favor. That is possible, but that's where the laying at bed at night. I don't know how people sleep. Like what happens if it gaps down? What happens if bad news comes out? Honestly, I already feel bad. I watch the tickers 14 hours a day. Doesn't feel funny. I made my money from... What do you? I'm so. Why are you watching your tickers 14 hours a day if you're swing trading like that? It sounds like you're a day trader. I'm very Silver Star Orders Ohio. Hey, and I grew up in Ohio. Grew up in Toledo, Ohio area. Graduated from Ohio State University. So I'm all on board Ohio. But as a former Ohioan to you, I've seen a lot of inconsistencies. You know, day trading is too mentally intensive, but yet you're swing trading crazy looking charts. But then you're saying you're watching these swing trades 14 hours a day. Why are you watching swing trades 14 hours a day? Like, you could day trade for 30 minutes and be done. 30 minutes is plenty of time, especially in the world of futures, because futures right here, because of the movement, 30 minutes is plenty of time in the world of futures. Maybe an hour if you want a little bit more, but like that's all you need, and then you could be done. It ain't no 14 hours a day, I'll tell you that right now. 14 hours a day, holy smokes. Come on, Ohio, let's go. Let's go, Buckeyes. Oh, good. You are the reason I start stock trading. Well, okay. Well, hopefully now you're futures trading, Malik, and not stock trading. Well, then again, you didn't say what type of trading. To be fair, but if you're Malik, if you're still stock day trading, please stop. Please stop. Mo Surge, you're not new here. Mo Surge, have you not heard of Pam's plant before? If so, then you would totally understand my claim that day trading stocks is pure garbage. And yes, that's coming from somebody that's day traded stocks for like over a decade, day traded stocks and options. And it's garbage. Pure and utter garbage. There's a saying I've heard many times over the years, and it proved to be true with me too. Everybody that's a day trader, eventually you're going to end up a day trader of futures. And they were right. So yes, Mo Surge, day trading stocks, day trading options are pure and utter garbage, and Pam's plant proves it. But you've been around. Haven't you heard Pam's plant? I don't know why you're getting so offended all of a sudden. Like, wait, what? What? Don't make me hit you over the head with Pam's plant. Don't make me do that. I'll knock your teeth out with Pam's plant. I'll knock your teeth out. Detrick, do you personally use a stop loss, or do you have a certain amount that you will... Nope. I use stop losses for sure. With prop firms, sometimes the stop loss can be a little different because again, your risk with a prop firm is so low, and you can get very, very aggressive because at the end of the day, you know, for this one, and let's just say I'm going to take on $1,500 of risk on this one. It's like, okay, well, that's not actually $1,500 of risk from my pocket, because $1,500 of risk would cause me to lose this account, but it would actually only cost me $105. So that's just why I'm making the distinction. When you get in the world of prop firms, yeah, you're still going to want to use stop losses and manage risk and all that sort of stuff. I'm just saying, it's not as important, just because if you're using your own money and you don't use stop losses and then something crazy happens and you lose $1,500, guess what? That's $1,500 of your money. But in the prop firm world, yeah, you lose the account, but it's only $105 of your money. What are you trading now? I am day trading futures through a prop firm, otherwise known as Pam's Plant, Tommy. Pam's Plant is what I'm doing, and this is the ultimate strategy for day traders. It's unbeatable. I've had nobody been able to argue and show me how this is actually a bad idea. At best, people have said that, like, one person called me a Wall Street plant, somebody else called me I don't know. But even if I just say, let's assume all negative things about me. I'm a con man, I'm a scammer, I'm a terrible person, I'm a terrible father, like anything negative. Like I'm the most immoral person. The best people have been able to do is just say, okay, well, you are an immoral person, you are a con man, you are a scammer, you're a terrible father, you're anything negative, making a good idea. So like I said, if I'm a scammer, all they can say is, okay, well, you're a scammer giving a good idea. It's like, okay, so you concede I'm giving a good idea. Yeah, but you're a scammer. Okay, so a scammer is giving you a good idea. Well, yeah, it's a good idea, but you're a scammer. It's like, but it's a good idea, right? That's the best anybody's been able to do with this, because it's mathematically provable to be the best way to go about it. Mathematically provable. And for those of you that have been around, you've seen me prove the math over and over again, and it's just it just makes the most sense. So that's what I'm trading right now. Can you use them in Europe? Malik, what country are you in? Because they're open to pretty much all countries. Neil, thanks for the answers around the prop firm companies. You're welcome, Neil. Hopefully you can decide to go with them. And if you, like I said, if you want to support the channel and get the promotion, use code Clay, and so my kids can eat. I got 6 of them. Don't support child starvation by not using my code, because if you don't use code Clay, that means you are pro child starvation. Thanks, Clay. You're welcome, Mike. Anish, how can I learn for screening or test for future? I just started learning trading. How can I learn for screening or test? I'm not quite sure what you mean by screening or test for future. If you want to clarify that, I'd be happy to, but I'm not quite sure what you're saying. Why do you think I'm here? Well, I'm confused, fellow Ohioan, because one moment I'm telling you to day trade, and they're like, well, but I don't day trade because it's too mentally intensive. I would like to, well, Silver, are you wanting to day trade futures or swing trade? What category are we in? Because again, this is the category for day traders. If you want to swing trade futures, then yeah, you're putting yourself at a lot of risk, because overnight, if something crazy happens, I mean, things can, well, get granted, overnight with futures is an hour, because they close every day at 5 p.m. Eastern, and then they open back up at 6 p.m. Eastern, because that's where this comes into play. They're basically open around the clock. But during that 1 hour, if something crazy happens, you just don't know. So are you wanting to day trade or swing trade? That's a key distinction in all of this, because this is an argument only for day trading. I've had some people like, what? So you don't have any stock investments? I'm like, no, I do have stock. Stocks are awesome. I love stocks. And in the investment category, same with options. So you say options are garbage? No, I only say options are garbage if you're day trading them. But I fully admit, from a swing trading standpoint or from an investment standpoint, options can be great. Covered calls, all sorts of cool stuff you can do with them. But day trading wise, yes, options are pure and utter garbage. So that's why it sounds like I'm nitpicking, but I am nitpicking, because we need to know what category are you wanting to do. What are you currently trading? I am day trading futures through a prop firm. I am in Poland right now. You were trading, yes, to everybody here. I used to day trade stocks and options, 100%, for like years, like over a decade. Yes, they're garbage. They're pure garbage day trading wise compared to futures. And then when you sprinkle in the prop firm, they get even better. So if there's anybody that has kind of a vantage point of, somebody that used to do this for so long, yeah, I'm telling you, they're garbage. And right now we are batting 100%. Everybody that, since I started the live stream about 2.5 months ago, that has tried Pam's plant has come back and said, you know what, Clay, I used to day trade options. In fact, yesterday we had like 3 people that used to day trade options, and now they tried Pam's plant with futures, and they're like, futures are so much better. I'm like, I told you. Okay, you're in Poland though? Well, let's figure out real quick. Would Pam's plant be open to you? Whoops, wrong set of slides. Let's see. We don't want to see Poland on this list. You don't want to see it. LMN, OP, Philippine. I think we're good. I think you're good. Let's just make sure. LMN, OP. Yeah, no. All right, so you could use this. They're open to Poland. Again, if you see your country on this list, unfortunately for you, Pam's plant through Take Profit Trader would not be available to you. But yeah, Poland's not on that list. So Malik, no excuses. Let's go. Oh, I thought Mo Surge has been here before. Now he's 74 winning trades, 74 winning trade without a loss. No, not winning trades. Not winning trades. You didn't read that right. No. I'm not the one that's all over the place, with all due respect, sir. You're the one with reading comprehension. It's not, I didn't say 74 winning trades. I said days. I said days. So it is possible within a day to have losing trades, yet still have a green day. So, but I can see how I might be all over the place when you don't actually read things. You can sign up for the presentation. I show you the statements. You know what? Let me, okay. I'm about to, perfect. It's still up. All right, let me bring this over. So this was, and this is all verifiable. I talked about this. I did videos on this. I did, and I was like, you know, I'm really struggling passing that 150K. Let me just try to slow down. So this is what slowing down look like. You have 5 days. So it's got to go a minimum of 5 days, but it took me after slowing down, because I failed several of these 150K, but I slowed down, and then you know, it took me 18 days. So let's go down here. And let's look at each day of the journey, of that 18 days to get to, you know, get to the $9,000, which was passing the test. So there's one day, there's another day, there's another day, there's another day, there's another day. And right here you can see quantity traded, okay? Now that's not trades, that's just the number of contracts. So keep that in mind. But, whoops. Right here, notice, not a single red day. Now, a single red day. Does that mean that there is absolutely zero losing trades along the way? No, there are losing trades. But that's why risk management, risk control, understanding how to manage risk matters, because you can have losing trades within a day and still come out green on the day. So right here we have all these green, not a single red day. And then we have this right here. Green, 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 all green days. So literally 18 green days in a row. Now, does that always happen? It doesn't. But to think that, like, wow, no, you can't go on green streaks like that. You can't have multiple green days. You can't have yes, you can. No, green streaks of days is different than green streaks of trades. Have I ever had, like, I don't know if I've ever had, I've probably had 10 winning trades in a row. But have I ever had 100 winning trades in a row? Have I ever had 50 winning trades in a row? Of course not. But if you manage risk, you can lose multiple times, but still have a green day. MO Surge, yeah. You would tell me hey, no, let's have a conversation. I'm going to convert you. How is day trading stocks better than futures? What do you think is great about day trading stocks? Honest conversation. Maybe I'm open. Maybe there's a flaw within this. How is day trading stocks better? Yes, I realize I hit a nerve, but now you're making an emotional argument like you're not here. Wasn't saying it was better. Well, don't you want it? Can we agree? Like, shouldn't we want to do the best thing possible for us in the category of day trading? Like, we're having a conversation about anything in life. It's like, isn't the goal to let's do what's most efficient. Let's do what's wisest. No, day trading stocks is garbage. 100%. And I can prove it to you. Day trading stocks is garbage compared to Pam's plan. And aren't you after let's do what's best? Again, you're just making an emotional argument. I offended you because I called your current strategy garbage, but I can actually prove that it's garbage. What does that have anything to do with that still not being? You made a lot of money trading stocks. Yeah, and you know how much more I could have made with futures? That's the point. I'm not saying you can't make money with that. I'm saying that they're garbage compared to futures. That is completely irrelevant. My claim is not that they don't work. My claim is they are garbage compared to futures. If you would have me busted. I'd be dead to rights if my claim was you can't make money with stocks, only with futures. That comment right there, guilty. You just defeated me in the debate. But that's not my claim. My claim is that day trading stocks is garbage compared to futures. You're just making an emotional argument right now, MO Surge. I do appreciate you continuing to discuss because you're about to bail and leave, but I appreciate you sticking around. I didn't say I am garbage. Okay, so first off, do you have $25,000, MO? Do you have $25,000? Again, we're in the category of day trading. Do you have $25,000? I do. Okay, what about the people that don't have $25,000? What about them? What's their problem? Sounds like you're pretty educated on this. So what's the problem of the people that want to day trade stocks that don't have $25,000? What is a major hurdle for them? Now I agree it's not a hurdle for you, but just talking in general, what is the major hurdle for them? The people that want to day trade, be day traders in stocks, but don't have $25,000. What's their hurdle? Okay, so you're not going to have this discussion. Thank you, Eric. Thank you for engaging with the discussion. Yes, the pattern day trading rule. So right here, if you want to be a day trader of stocks, and if you don't have $25,000, guess what? You can't be a day trader. They being the government, will not let you day trade as much as you want. A day trade being defined as buying and selling in the same exact day. You are not allowed to do that as often as you want. But in the world of futures, and that again, in stocks and options, that's known as the pattern day trading rule. In the world of futures, there's none. There's no pattern day trading rule. So you can go day trade as much as you want. Now, in Mo Surge's case, he's like, well, I have more than 25,000. Okay, fair enough. This does not apply to him. This is not a worry. But all these other things would apply to him. And the main thing that I would argue applies to him is this, is the added risk control and how he can protect his own money. So Mo Surge, I don't want to speak for him, but he's a human. We're all human. I'm sure Mo Surge is not the perfect trader. I'm sure he does not always perfectly, flawlessly follow his rules. I'm sure sometimes he gets upset, he gets frustrated. Maybe he forces a trade, maybe he revenge trades. But even if he doesn't do anything of that, sometimes you just get stuck in crazy moves. And Mo Surge is using his own money as a stock trader. So and we won't even say like he's got a bad day. So we will say that he's behaving, he's disciplined, but then just a crazy move happens, right? And because to be fair, crazy moves can happen in futures too. So, so the same thing can happen in both markets, stock market and futures market. Crazy move, okay? So everything's the same right now. The only thing different is for the person using the prop firm, well, let's say the crazy move, and let's just go so we can make the crazy move sound really crazy. So this person here has 150,000 account. The crazy move in both situations results in a $4,500 loss. So what happens to the person in the prop firm? Well, $4,500 loss means they failed the challenge, or that they lose their prop firm account. But did it actually cost them $4,500 of their own money? No, it didn't. It cost them the cost of the account, which was $252. However, in Mo Surge's case, or in any stock day trader's case, how much did it cost them? Well, because they're using their own money, it cost them every shred of that $4,500. That's $4,500 of their money gone, just like that. How exactly does that make mathematical sense? Why take on all that risk when you don't actually need to? So this is just a mathematically provable system. Why take on unnecessary risk? The only pushback would be, well, I want to keep 100% of my profits. And that is true. When you use your own money, you do get to keep 100% of the profits. Whereas in the prop firm world, once you start to make money, you get to keep 80% of your profits. And then in this situation, you get to keep 90%. But you know what? To me, it is a more than valid trade-off to be like, you know what? Yeah, sure, I don't get to keep 100% of my gains, but you know what? Else I don't have to keep 100% of my losses. And I don't know about any of you, but I tend to lose my mind. I tend to break rules sometimes. I tend to go on tilt. I revenge trade. I force trades. I suffer from FOMO. And then I have those days where I look back and say, wow, Clay, you sure made a mess of it. What were you thinking? And it can be a very nasty, messy situation. So that can still happen in futures. I'm not refuting that. That can still happen in futures. The point is, when that happens in futures, and if it costs you $4,500, well, it just costs you your account. You lose your account, but you don't lose $4,500 out of your account or out of your pocket. You only lost what you paid for the account. But if you're using your own money, and by the way, this includes futures. If you're day trading futures with your own money, well then, yeah, that's $4,500 of your own money that's gone. So that would be the biggest argument right there. They lost the money because of risk management and psychological issues. If you don't have those skills, Mo Surge. So are you telling me that you never have bad days, like you never break rules, you never lose your mind, like you never FOMO, you never have those days? Is that what you're telling me, Mo Surge? You never have those days? Because I agree. Yeah, they lost money because of, you do. Okay. So why, when those days happen, why are you putting all your money at risk? Because I fully agree with that statement. They lost that money because of risk management. Agreed. And psychological issues. Yes, but you would be more overall profitable if you're not taking on all the downside risk. That's my point. Your downside risk is just the cost of the account. Your downside risk when you have those bad days is worse. That's it's the more efficient way. You keep getting hung up, well, I'm profitable. Yeah, no, I'm not saying you can't be profitable. I'm saying you would be more profitable if you have better downside risk protection, which is what Pam's plan is providing. Okay. I don't care that you risk 1% to 2% every day. You just conceded that sometimes you have bad days. You lose your mind. You go on FOMO. You break rules. Those are the days I'm talking about, where you make a massive mess of things. Those are the days, not the days where you not the days where you risk 1 to 2% and you follow the rules perfectly. That's not what I'm talking about. You're not addressing the argument. You keep making claims that are not my claims. But anyways, yes, you have not convinced me at all. In fact, you've just further proved my point. I do appreciate you saying and admitting that you do have bad days. We had somebody on here last week that was like, no, I never break rules. I'm always disciplined. And everybody was like, wait a second, you never break rules? Nope. And all right, so I can't remember if that person got banned or not, because that's just a ridiculous claim to say, no, I never break rules. I'm always 100% disciplined. So I do appreciate that, Emma Surge. I appreciate you. But the fact that you concede that is the point. We all have those bad days. We all get stuck in crazy moves. We all just, whoa, what just happened there? And that's where the prop firm is going to protect your downside risk against those days. But yeah, you can risk 1 to 2% every trade in futures too in a prop firm. But we will move on. So a nice lively discussion there. Hopefully. But I will say to Mo, very well done in life. Most people do not have the 25,000. So, the P right there makes perfect sense for them right off the get-go. But you do have more. So good job in life to be, have that sort of money. So nothing but respect there. And I appreciate you actually coming back and not leaving when you were offended by my comment and having a discussion. No, you're agree to disagree. No, that I just mathematically proved it to you. So you're literally disagreeing with logic. Logic being defined by math, because right, that's what math is. Math explains structure, and that's what logic is. It's structure. So you are literally doing what does not make sense, Mo Surge. But hey, you're allowed to do things that don't make literal sense. Go for it. Annabelle, just see the stock traders influencers. You can see that. Yeah, I'm Annabelle. I fully agree. I'm gonna delete that comment just because I don't need them sending me cease and desist order. So I'm not gonna use their names, but I fully agree. Anybody out there promoting trading, small cap stocks, ridiculous. I understand why they do it. I understand why it's attractive because yes, small cap stocks are very, very volatile. But you know what else is very, very volatile? Futures. In fact, they move better than those small cap stocks. But you know what the problem with promoting the whole low floats, short squeezes, all those, small cap stocks, you know what the problem is with this? Down here. There's no risk control. When you get stuck in one of those rug pulls or a dump or, a halt because those things get halted and then it gaps down against you, guess what? That's all your money on the line. So yes, sure, you reap the rewards if you're right, but you also reap 100% of the risk if you're wrong. And wow, you can be wrong on those stocks. So those people, I'm not saying that they're not good at trading those. All I'm saying is for someone that's new and you're like, hey, yeah, take your money and let's go trade small cap stocks because you can explode and grow your money. That's true. I'm not saying you cannot do that. But what I am saying is that there is like zero wiggle room because all it takes is 1 or 2 trades and people's accounts are gone just like that. Whereas in the prop firm world, you can blow up several accounts and still only be a few $100 in. So yes, I do fully agree on Annabelle, but like I said, I'm deleting that message out because like I don't need any drama in my life. I traded stock options for 5 years, moved to futures a couple weeks ago. I'm cool day trading. Oh, you're cool on day trading stock options in terms of, yeah, I'm not going to do that. Yeah, I'm cool with that. Like, no thanks. Exactly. Yeah, it's a walk to you. He's one of the people I was referring to earlier that used to be trading or day trading options. Get a cash account. That's irrelevant because cash accounts, you still have to worry about settlement rules, but it's still your money that you're trading with at the end of the day. They don't know how to keep their losses small. Franco, that's irrelevant. Go to a cat. Yeah, Franco, irrelevant. Cash accounts don't solve the settlement rules, and they definitely don't solve this right here. You're still both arguing, hey, let's take on all the risk with our own money in these very volatile situations. So that's not addressing any of the things. You're proving them. Again, somebody else trying to say, well, with a cash account, you can do things. Yeah, you're still trading with all your money. Oh, I'm sorry, Elton. Yeah. Okay, so he's helping me out. Exactly. With a cash account, you can't trade on unsettled funds. Exactly. You have to wait for settlement. You have to wait 24 hours. And that also sucks. Correct. Cash accounts don't actually solve the pattern day trade rule because of settlement rules. You have to wait. And also that, exact, Elton. I'm about to start trading futures too. Good job, Elton. I promise you'll love it. Neil, how do you even start to learn futures trading? Neil, do you know how to read charts? Also, do prop firms work on a traditional broker like Charles Schwab? No. Well, yeah. No, not prop. No, not on a Charles Schwab. But Neil, do you know how to treat chart or trade charts? Maybe you need to clarify, for example, when you say day trading options are garbage, it is because simply the PDT rule. No. It's beyond this. They're garbage because why would you take on all that risk when you don't actually need to take on all that risk? There's many reasons why they're garbage. They don't move nearly as good as futures. Futures move so much better than stocks, and it's not even close. So yeah, no, it's definitely more than the PDT rule. It's not simply the PDT rule on why they're garbage. They're garbage for a multitude of reasons. But a big one being how they protect your money. But yes, Alton, you are right about the whole settlement rule and how that doesn't surge anything. Okay, yeah, some people I just don't know how to get to. Like, I'm like, it's your money at risk, and then they just ignore that. Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, yeah, he's just emotionally offended right now, and unfortunately, emotionally offended people, they're not thinking logically. So people that are emotionally offended are not going to think through a structured process. Like he keeps talking about all these things. I'm like, yeah, no, that's fine, that's true, but that's not my argument. My argument is, why would you put all your money at risk when you don't have to? No, MOC. This is the problem. This is the problem. So here's a life lesson, and I'm not perfect at this, but like learn context, get context before you start running your mouth. Because anybody that's been here for a while knows that I've said the reason why I still do my top 10 stocks at the end of every day is because I'm trying to bring in people that are interested in stocks to the live stream so I can be like, hey, there's a better way. Here's the better way. Like that's the goal, MO. Why would I delete that? But see, you don't know that I've said that a million times on the live stream because you haven't been here, which is fine, but that's just my point. Learn a little bit of context before you start saying stuff that's like, makes you look like you don't know what you're talking about. So no, I definitely would. I'm not going to delete those videos. I'm still doing stock videos. I'm trying to bring in stock traders to these live streams so I can smack them upside the head. Because gratefully, they're not. You're the first one that's been emotionally triggered. I will say that. 2.5 months in, MO Surge is the first one that's been emotionally triggered. Most people are like, oh, really? Well, tell me about it. They're like, oh, that actually makes a lot of sense. But MO, you have been emotionally triggered. So everyone else is here every day to understand. Oh, I think a lot of them have, because I've said that many times. Many times. Like my main goal is to, I want to tell people about Pam's plant. So yeah, that's, now is everyone? No, not everyone. But it's okay, Mo. It's okay. I know I don't know. I'm not going to apologize for giving you logically based, mathematically based truth. So I'm not going to apologize for giving you the truth, but I guess I kind of sort of, I'm sorry that I emotionally triggered you so much. Inconsistent. See, here's the thing. It's not inconsistent. If you understand charts and what I actually teach, then you know that I teach charts. So for Neil, I asked Neil earlier, do you understand charts? Why did I ask him that? Because let's look at something, right? Let's do a little experiment. It probably won't work. No, it won't, because there's, okay. No, it's not. So for example, I'm trying to think, but I don't think it will work. Yeah, see, look at this. Look at Mutt Mentor. That's somebody that's trying to learn. That's not somebody that's like so emotionally offended because somebody said something mean about what they're doing. Mutt's like, hey, I really want to know about futures. Can you give me something? Can you teach me more? We're not like, well, that's a jerk. Did you just say that what I'm doing is a waste of time and garbage? Well, that you meanie head, I'm out of here. No, they're like, hey, yeah, okay. I do trade stocks. I watch your stock videos. Can you tell me about futures? That's a sign, Mutt. Mutt Mentor. You're gonna succeed. I don't know how old you are, but that's a great attitude to have. Yeah. Well, Mutt Mentor. Let me just ask you this real quick. Do you have question number one? Do you want to day trade stocks? Question number two, Mutt Mentor. Do you have $25,000? Jonathan Beckner, good point. Curls, well done, sir. You gotta like a little self-deprecating humor. Even Curls understood it. Like everybody understood it except Mo, but that's my point. Mo is emotionally triggered, and when you're emotionally triggered, you stop thinking logically. Because my case is based in logic being defined by math. I don't have 25K. Okay, so the easy sell. I'm sorry. Okay, so you do want to be a day trader and stocks. You don't have 25,000. So Mutt Mentor, you know all about the pattern day trading rule then. So for you, it's a very easy reason as to why you would want to get into day trading futures. Because if you want to be a day trader in stocks, well, you can't because you're very limited to the amount of day trades you can do. Only 3 every 5 days. But in the world of futures, the P of Pam's plant, there's no day pattern day trading rule. So you can day trade every single day as much as you want. So right there in and of itself, well, I don't know anything about futures. My question to that would be, do you know how to trade charts? Because when you trade charts, you can trade whatever you want. So I could show you an isolated candlestick. I was trying to think of a way to how to do this, but for a thought experiment, let's just say I showed you a candle. So let's just say I showed you this candle right here. Or let's just do this. Let's say this group of candles right. I show you this group of candles right here. And then I would tell you, this is on a stock. Would you be able to tell? Would anybody be able to tell if that's all you saw? So everything else is blocked out on the screen. If that's all you saw, would you be able to tell if that was a stock? Well, no, you're not. Of course not, Clay, because per what you're asking, all you're showing us is that group of candles. That's it. You're showing us nothing else. So of course not. I don't know if that's a stock. Exactly. It could be futures. It could be Forex pairing. It could be option. It could be a variety. It could be a crypto. It could be Bitcoin, right? So my point here is this. If you understand what these things are and what they represent and how to use these to build trade plans, the only difference is instead of using those things to day trade stocks, you're now using those things to day trade futures. That's the only difference. So that is, that is why I ask, like, well, I don't know anything about futures. I don't know how to trade futures. Well, do you know how to trade charts? Because if you know how to trade charts, the only difference now for you becomes instead of using charts to day trade stocks, you're using charts to day trade futures. Does that make sense? Keith R., prop firms work great. I speak from experience. Again, I apologize if I missed your message, but we're getting some good interaction. This has been great. This has been a great live stream. This is fun. Yes, makes sense. All right, Mutt. So like that would be for you. That's really the main thing. But yeah, you'll notice they move way better than stocks. There's just you don't have to screen for anything, right? What's a hot stock for today? What I'm going to trade today? You don't have to do any of that. You're going to trade and look at the same thing every single day. I realize it's Saturday, so the market's not open today, but like I said, if you know how to trade with a chart, if you've used charts before and candlesticks and all that sort of stuff, the only difference for you, well, I guess the big difference would be now you can day trade. You can buy and sell as much as you want every single day. You'd still be using charts. You would just be using charts to trade futures. Mo, sir, you're fine. You're just emotionally triggered right now. I'm trying to give, keep things in context. You know it. I know it. What you're doing makes no mathematical sense, but you don't want to admit it that like, yeah, you know what? I'm not. And dude, I'm stupid. Like, I'm the biggest moron I've ever met. Like my community for years, my community was like, Clay, you should try futures. Hey, Clay, dude, try futures. Clay, do futures. Hey, Clay, futures got even better because now there's these things called prop firms you can do it with. Hey, Clay, hey, it's been a couple years and you keep telling us that prop firms are scams, but look, I'm getting paid. I'm going on vacations with the money from prop firms and futures. Hey, Clay, maybe give it a try. And last November, I finally did. And you know what? I was wrong. I was so wrong. I'm irritated. I think that's why, honestly, I think the reason why I get passionate at people like Mo Surge is because I see myself in you. I see the stubbornness that I had. I see the inflated ego that I had. And I'm like, dude, don't be like me. Like, just what you're doing. Like, so I think that's where some of it comes from. I don't know what the right psychology is. Projecting. Am I like projecting something? I don't know if that's right, but that's why I get upset. Because that was me until November. They're just so much better. They're so much better. And yes, I'm upset at myself. So when I see people like getting so stubborn, like I was so stubborn, it irritates me because I'm still irritated at myself. It's like, what a waste of so much time, you moron. So yeah, I am a moron. I was wrong. I was a moron. I was wrong. What do you want to say? So that's why, Mo, you're a moron, sir. You are a moron, just like I was a moron. The only difference between you and I is I have recognized that I was being a moron. Unfortunately for you right now, you're still a moron. So I'm upset at you for being a moron. Don't stop being a moron like I was a moron for so many years. Maybe we should get t-shirts made. Don't be a moron or stop being a moron. Don't be a moron. Don't be a moron. I'm the kid. Well, we still have, I don't know, Judd's not here. Judd is a bigger moron than I am still. Huh? Do you say something? What? So there are differences in chart analysis. So there are zero differences in chart analogy. Well, yeah. I mean, there's zero differences. Like, I could show you. So let me show you. Here's a little test. Okay, so what kind of pattern did I just draw right here? For those of you that know your patterns, you're gonna be like, oh, that's a bear flag pattern. Next question: bear flag pattern on what? Is it a bear flag pattern on a stock? Is it a bear flag pattern on a future? Is it a bear flag pattern on a crypto? Well, I don't know, but that's irrelevant. That just proves that, yeah, bear flags occur on futures, on stocks, on crypto, on anything. Like you can get a bunch of traders together and be like, oh yeah, man, I made some big money on a bear flag today. Another one will be like, oh, did you? I got some money on a bear flag too. And then a third can be like, oh man, I crushed it on the bear flag. And then you find out one was a stock trader, one was a crypto trader, and one was a futures trader. So yeah, it goes. What are some key levels you're looking for the coming weeks? Jeff, you'd have to provide a little bit more context. Are you asking for a certain market or what? That's pretty open-ended. So many beats, big facts. I appreciate you. Yeah, that's why Pam's plant. It's unbeatable. All Mo did the whole time was attack me. Well, Clay, you used to do this. Clay, you did, and it's like, yeah, okay. Me, I'm irrelevant. Let's focus on the idea. But he was like, well, I can't even refute the idea. It's like, no, exactly. That's the point. How long is the trial period before you get art? How long is the trial period? Well, you can take as long as you want, but I say get it done within a month. That way you don't have to pay this monthly fee again, because after you pass and after you move from here to here, there are no more monthly fees here. But this phase, like I said, you can take as much as you want. It's a minimum of 5 days, but you can take as long as you want. So long as you want, 5 days minimum. Try to get it done within a month, which is more than reasonable. I know some people are like, wait, what? I've never made those thousands of dollars in a month before. I'm telling you, futures move and they move quickly. It's more than reasonable. And then you'll move it into the pro account. But yeah, you can take as long as you want. My advice to Mr. Mentor: if you decide to trade, you'll be in for the long haul. It's yeah, it's a roller coaster, that's for sure. We have full agreement on that one. Anybody shows up thinking any of this is easy, you are not thinking wisely. Nope. Yep, I'll agree there. Oh, no, I disagree with that. You will get destroyed day trading? Well, no. You're not, MO Surge, you're not destroyed day trading. You're day trading well. So, I mean, you're proof that it's possible. So I would disagree with that one. Well, yeah, day trading's tough. Yeah. Yes, I realize that in the beginning you weren't profitable. Nobody's profitable in the beginning. I get that part. I'm just saying the fact that you are making money as a day trader proves that it's possible. After getting the pro account, actually, Art, you did ask another question earlier that I meant to get. What happens to my account after I hit the max loss? So yeah, after you, if you hit the max loss here, then you're just out that money. Now, if you want to try again, you can reset it for $100. But if you hit the max loss of 2,000 and you're like, yep, sorry, you failed, or we're taking the account from you, then you would just cancel the account and that would be done. Or you can just reset it for the $100 and get the account back. But yeah, you don't owe them any money or anything like that. What do I call them when they attack me? Oh, that's the ad hominem fallacy. Yeah, ad hominem, yeah. I want to be able to get in sync with trend lines. That's been my issue. Yeah, now, Mutt, I mean, to be fair, if you don't know how to trade, well, then futures isn't going to help you in that regard. Futures is just going to allow you to day trade more. Although I will say that I'm sure the pattern day trader rule has put a bunch of kind of weird wrinkles in your strategy because, again, you're like, well, I only have 1 day trade left, or I only have 2 day trades left, so I got it, and it just gets weird. Neil, don't really know charts. All right, Neil. Well, I mean, you need to know charts. If you want to day trade, you need to know charts. I have resources and stuff from that if you'd like to learn, but yeah, you got to learn charts. Correct, pawn. Yeah, you don't have to. You're not going to owe any money because, again, this is not. I can see people like, this sounds like a scam. If you have to pay $119 and then $2,000 is what they're allowing you to lose, well, it's not actually $2,000 being lost. This is in a simulated environment, which is smart, right? If they're just testing you, they're not going to actually let you lose $2,000 of their own money. So it's a valid concern. It makes sense to point out. But yeah, that's not actually how it's working. I don't know. All right, Neil. Well, like I said, I don't know where you're at, but I'll just link this to you. You can do with it what you will, Neil. But if you do want to learn charts in a organized and coherent manner, you can check that out. Let's see. During the trial period, what is the amount I need to hit before being able to... Art, all this is on their site, my friend. So if you go to their site, which I keep referring to, if you just use the link that's either pinned in the message, so you go to their site, you just scroll down, and then right here it tells you everything. So what is the amount you need to hit? Hey, Monkey Trader, I'm gonna get your question. You don't have to spam it 40 times, my friend. I'll get to it. Or you can just, like I said, if it's that pressing, like I said, that's the whole point. $5 super chats will make sure I see your message and do it right away. But When I see people spamming, I'll be honest. I'm like, all right, I'm just going to ignore that one because that person, quite frankly, if it's that important to you, then $5 super chat. And you've been here before, Hey Mung Key Trader, you know that rule. Like I said, no super chats are required, but in that situation, you just have to be patient and wait your turn. But that's the whole thing. Whereas if you're not patient and you don't wait your turn, then I'm just not gonna address it. And that is like, what is that, like the fourth or fifth time you've copy and pasted that question? So there's a little behind the scenes. Again, no need for super chats at all. All I'm saying is if you have a pressing question that you would like for me to for sure get to, and and you want me, well, thank you, Mo Surge. No, it was a good conversation. Don't stop being like me. That's all I'll say. Stop being like me. Like, believe it or not, I care for you. Like, I especially if you're already profitable in stocks, man. Have you ever even traded futures? Have you tried futures? If not, at least consider. That's all I'll say is consider that, because you will absolutely love them. You'll absolutely love them. So yes, you are being like me. I just stop being like me. I'm telling you. You should try, man. You should try. I'm looking in the mirror right now with Mo Surge. What's the new journey? Looking at candlesticks that represent the futures market instead of stocks? That's really the only newest thing in your journey. You know, if you're consistent, you're profitable. You know how to read a chart. That's the only new thing in your journey. But come back. We'll agree to disagree, like you said earlier. That's fine. But I'm still gonna give you my mind because I see me and you. I want to do something better and grow. Well, again, I'll link you to the same thing. Mutt Mentor, you mentioned kind of struggling with the charts and all that sort of stuff. So you can do with this as you will. But if you want to learn the ins and outs and everything in a coherent, logical, organized manner, I don't sell a magical system. I don't sell a magical strategy. I sell structure. I sell a process of learning. I am a process engineer by degree. I haven't done that, but the internet and all its free information can get overwhelming in a hurry. So while I don't offer anything magical or mystical, I do offer a structured way to approach information that'll help make sense in your mind. I wish I never traded penny stocks or options and only did futures. Going back to starting trading, that's the only thing I would tell my beginner self. Yeah, exactly, Pawn. To be fair to myself, though, futures, they were around, but the thing that, in my opinion, made it a game changer was this. The MNQ. Just the fact that M's now exist, because NQ, if to tell a beginner to go start trading the NQ, I don't know if I could do that. Because they are volatile, but they're so volatile that it's like, yeah, you're going to get just destroyed. But with the invention of the MNQ, I don't know, was that like 5 or 6 years ago? That was a massive game changer. So when I got started back in 2006, it was like MNQ didn't, or the MNQs, or the M's just weren't around at all. NQ was around. I never heard of it. I think they were a lot, probably lower volatility. Like, what was the NQ at back in 2006? Probably didn't move nearly as much as it did. But point being, the MNQ has been a game changer, and why I have no problem saying if somebody's brand new, brand new, do not start with the NQ. Start with the MNQ with the goal to move to the NQ. Because they're the same chart, it's just that the M moves slower compared to the NQ. Overwhelming, understatement of the year. Yeah, that's just what I mean, Mutt. So I'll be the first to admit, my program, my mentorship, I'm not teaching you anything magical. It's not a secret sauce. None of that stuff. I'm selling you organization. I'm selling you a learning process. I'm showing you a structure so that you're not feeling overwhelmed, so that you'll learn a piece of information and it'll make sense to you. All right, let me unfollow. Does he actually teach or does he sell a... I don't know what beast mode is talking about. Does he actually teach or does he sell a course? Well, isn't a course teaching? I'm very confused. All right, let me unfollow. Okay. I guess beast mode is, yeah, I don't know. That was a weird one. What platform am I using? I am using, so the way it would work, Mo, assuming you want to do Pam's Plant, Yeah, but like in all seriousness, definitely don't. I'm not saying to never MO surge, to never do futures with your own money, but when you start off, just go with a prop firm to get your feet wet, because there is a little bit of adjusting, because I mean they move. What I would do MO is right here, take profit trader, select whatever purchasing power, and then during the checkout phase, it'll ask you what platform, and that is the one that I am using, and that you'll see on like live streams or any of my recent live trading videos. Tradeovate is what I use. And then they'll actually, they being Take Profit Trader, they create the account for you, which is nice because you don't have to go spend your time now creating a separate account for Tradeovate. You don't have to do any of that. Take Profit Trader will create the account for you, send you the login and username, and then you just log right into Tradeovate. And it's actually kind of scary how simple it actually is. But yeah, that's who I use, and that's what I'd recommend. Eventually, maybe you just want to use Tradeovate all on your own with your own funds. I think you now know I would disagree with that, but I would say at least when you get started. Thanks for answering all my questions. I've been watching you on and off for a few years now. I tried different strategies, trading low cap stocks, but not having too much. Yeah. So Art, low cap stocks, they move big, but have you ever been caught in any where they move big against you? Out of curiosity. And I'm also learning that if I don't ask for people to hit the like button every 15 or so minutes, the likes just do terrible. So I think that's something that I was wondering about. Like, is it annoying that I'm always not always, but like every 15 minutes asking for likes? So I was like, let's experiment with that. I said something at the beginning and haven't said anything since then. And we're not even at 50 likes yet. So it seems like asking for likes does indeed help. Maybe you're saying, Clay, and that's shocking to you? Hey, I never claimed to be smart. Micros are a game changer. You can still make good money and not get into too much trouble with risk. Took $600 out this week trading 1 to 2 micros. Yeah, no, exactly, Pawn. Yeah, that's what I mean. Micros are totally crazy. But my point being, when I got started, micros didn't even exist. But yes, the fact that micros now exist is amazing. I wish Beast Mode was still here. I wanted to pick his brain. Beast Mode seems like he equates either things. Either you teach for free, or does he sell a course? So in other words, if you sell a course, then you're not teaching. You're just trying to sell a course. Or does he teach? So does he teach for free, or does he teach for payment? Is what Beast Mode seems to be approaching life in. And because I do both. I have so much free content. I think I'm doing a little teaching here. But yeah, I do have a paid course, but apparently that made him want to unfollow and leave. So Beast Mode is this is who, like, don't be like Beast Mode. All right, Beast Mode is the guy in life. We're like, so let's say we have Sam the surgeon. Sam the surgeon is a brain surgeon, and then he knocks on. I'm going to go with he knocks on Beast Mode's door, and Beast Mode says to Sam the surgeon, "Wait a second, if you're such a good surgeon, if you make so much money from surgery." Why you, oh, and sorry, I didn't give enough context. So I kind of messed up the story, but we can still go with it. So Sam is a surgeon. He's a brain surgeon, but he studied wealthy people, and he understands that he notices that all wealthy people he studied have multiple streams of income. So Sam the surgeon is like, okay, well, I want to create multiple streams of income for myself. So I'm going to start a lawn care business. So then Sam the surgeon knocks on Beast Mode's door, and Beast Mode says to Sam the surgeon, wait a second, if you're such a good surgeon, you make so much money from surgery, why do you got to charge me to mow my lawn? Go mow it for free. You mow my lawn for free if you're such a good surgeon. You already make a bunch of money from surgery. Mow my lawn for free. So I would submit one of those people in that little story is very, very entitled and greedy. Okay? That's the thing that always makes me shake my head. If you're such a good trader, if you make so much money from trading, then why do you got to sell a course? Yeah? If you're such a good surgeon, if you make so much money from surgery, why are you charging me to mow my lawn? Go do it for free. Mow my lawn for free. So don't go through life with that mentality. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. I'm not saying anybody here does. I'm just saying that seems to be what Beast Mode was equating. Does he teach, or does he sell a course? In other words, does he teach for free, or does he teach but he sells it, therefore he's kind of a scumbag because, Jamie Gibbs, you don't want to go, no, don't trade Forex. Jamie, no, no. You don't want to trade Forex. Or did you mean futures? Maybe you meant futures and you accidentally typed Forex. Yes, I've been able to make 250 a day, but then Sunday I would have had a stock drop for me. I would lose more than 5. Yeah, exactly, Art. Yeah, like I said, again, with the micro cap and small cap stocks, I'm not saying you can't make money with those. You can. I'm not saying they're not volatile. They are volatile. I'm just saying futures move better, and you can get just the same movement. You can day trade as much as you want, but those stocks can drop in a hurry. You get stuck in I mean, so many things can go wrong with those small caps that there's a better way where you don't have to take on all that risk. I did simulation Thursday with Tradeovate, free trial, made 608 on MNQ. Going to keep trying when I am free to trade with this try. So, Jeff, let me ask you this, Jeff. What did you trade before futures? So you're just giving day trading futures a try. So what were you trading beforehand? Beast mode lives in his mom's basement, ashamed of nothing, yeah, but offended by everything. Yeah. It's a rough way to go about life. If you're trading prop firms, I wouldn't consider commissions if they're unimportant. If you're opening to own account. Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, Jonathan Beckner, good thoughts there. Fully agree on that one. Did I finally catch up? Oh, beast mode, come back, beast mode. I just want to have a conversation. Oh, beast mode. Jamie. Is Jamie still here? See, and like this Hung Mung. This H Mung key trader. How come when you pull up a chart, there's multiple options? Say if you pull up MNQ, there's multiple. Because there are different contracts, but we want to just trade the most recent contract, which right now is the M. M is in monkey. But the platforms will tell you what is the platform with the most volume. I was doing SPY options day trade. It was crazy. Okay, Jeff. So we now have a new person that's gone from you were day trading options, and now you have tried day trading futures. What are your thoughts on day trading futures compared to what you were just doing day trading options? Any tips on trading futures on Apex? No, because I don't use Apex. Apex is a little out of my wheelhouse in the sense of their rule book is a little too thick for me. That's why I say Apex. I'll recommend them because I know they pay. They have a track record. There's members of my community that use them. So I don't have anything against Apex per se. I would just say that I would definitely, put on the kind of asterisk that Apex is for the advanced prop firm trader. Apex gets called a scam a lot. But the only reason why it's called a scam is because you have people that are beginners to prop firms that don't understand all the rules, which is understandably. That's why I'm not using Apex. I don't understand all the rules. They got a bunch of rules. But once you're advanced and once you learn things, then yeah, they pay. They've paid big amounts to people and all of that. But like I said, so if you're an advanced trader, I have nothing, I'd say, and you want to support the channel, you want my kids to eat dinner tonight, use code Clay to take advantage of that. But, yeah, as far as any advice on Apex, no, because I don't use Apex. I would still consider myself not really Apex. I'm not sure that would be the best way for me right now. I think Beast Mode is gone, Andrew. I think they left a long time ago. Have you ever used Take Profit? Well, what's your problem with, are you struggling with all the rules, hamster? Man, it drives me nuts. Jamie Gibbs. Ask something and then they gone. Who are you using? I use Take Profit Trader. All right, well, okay, we're coming up on 2 hours. I think this is the longest Saturday live stream I've done. Maybe not. But, no, I just thought I would ask. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I'd say if you're a beginner to the prop firm world, Hamster, I'd go take profit trader. Rules are very clean. Rules are very straightforward. Have a great payment policy. Just taking a look at crude oil. Now this is a chart that I would love to see just collapse, right? I mean, who doesn't like themselves some cheap gas prices? So I'm rooting for this thing to just let's go oil. Let's go. Okay, I was trying to sign on with them, having a hard time. What do you mean you're trying to sign on with them? What I can maybe provide some insight, but I don't know without a little bit more details. Are there any other requests to look at options? Options are like a crazy dopamine rush with how much you can gain so fast with 0DT contracts, but the market is choppy before a move happens. You really get killed, and scalping is harder on small moves. Yeah, I know that's exactly it. Like small cap stocks, I'm not refuting that you can make good money. You can make good money. You can make very quick money. You can make very big money. Same with 0DT options. If you nail something, I mean, boom, you're gonna get paid. The problem is being consistent, because all it takes is like one crazy move, and all those gains could be gone like that. And then Jeff follows that up, says future scalping is much better. That's my whole point. That's my whole argument. Right here, Pam's plan. Day trading futures with a prop firm. That's what I'm after here, and that's what I'm trying to convey. And so far, everybody that has believed me has come back and said, yeah, Clay, you were right. You were right. Because futures are just, they're just better. Are you using Tradeovate with T? Yes, I am. I'm using Tradeovate. That is correct. So if anybody does have any sort of requests, want me to take a look at a stock chart, a crypto chart, an options chart, or options, Forex, whatever. If you have a question on kind of anything, if you have a question on prop firms, if you have a, whatever, we'll go for a little bit while longer. Hamster, I don't know. It's fun to have a few short-term options bets, but better to go a few months out. Well, yeah. Well, that now you're in a different category, I think. Because are you saying and then you hold them overnight? You hold them for a few days, Hamster? Is that what you're saying? Is there training in about all this in your community? Keither, yeah. So if you want the lifetime membership to my community, to my training, to my mentorship, all that, I will send you this and you can check it out and do with it what you will. But yeah, if you want to learn in a structured manner, there you go. Clay, do you go live? Yeah. I've been going live for the past about 2.5 months. Usually go live right around 11 a.m. Eastern. I did, Andrew. I'm glad to know that's a rough draft. I would say it's got quite a bit of work that needs to be done, but to be fair to you, you did say it was a rough draft. Yeah, okay, Hamster. So what you're saying about that is not, so options are fine if you want to hold them for a few months. Yeah, no, that's fine. That's not this though. Pam's plan is in the it's an argument for the category of day trading. What you just talked about is swing trading. And I have no problem with options when it comes to swing trading or investing. I'm all on board. There's some cool things you can do with options from a swing trading and investing standpoint, especially from an investing standpoint, doing covered calls, stuff like that, naked, the cash covered puts, stuff like that, or cash secured puts. But it's a very specific, particular argument category of day trading. So you have live videos trading futures, Clay, and if not, I have probably over 100 videos now. Mo Surge. See, that's what I mean. That's where it comes across as a little rough around that. Like do you have? If not, why? It's, dude. Like I was telling you earlier, man, get a little context. Yeah, go to the site, blog, come on down here, and where is it? Live trade. Or Mo, just watch, I don't know if this is common knowledge, but all these videos here, this is all futures, all futures videos now. But also like on somebody's YouTube page, there's videos, and then at the top it says live. So if you click on live, it's got all my past live streams that are archived there that you can go back and watch. So you could see a bunch of live trades and futures from those too. But yes, there are lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of videos of futures trading. Well, that's good news. The power company just ran some power at our property. Oh, it's exciting. Progress. Progress is being made. So that's what I'm in the middle of learning right now. General contracting, building a house. We're in a temporary house right now, and we're gonna bought a farm in Iowa. Now, when I say a farm in Iowa, I don't mean like we bought a massive cornfield and we're gonna build a house in the middle of it. No, it's got about 130 acres of farmland. It's got about 80 acres of CRP, Conservation Resource Program, and then it's got quite a bit of woods. So it's kind of like a farm that you can do a bunch of stuff on. But we're building our house there, and I'm general contracting it. So if you're a general contractor of a house and you have any advice, let me know. Granted, I have several people around me that here in Iowa that have built houses that I'm using as mentors. But hey, if you got some feedback, I'm all for it. My wife is from Iowa. Nice. What town? Not that I'm going to know what town. I mean, we just moved here in August, so I'm still trying to learn the immediate towns around where I live. Let's see. Is there? Oh yeah, Keith. Why months? What is the best time? What is the best time of day trading futures? I don't know, Art, because I don't know what your strategy is. So I don't know do you like faster movement, slower move? I'm not quite sure, but futures definitely move quicker when the U.S. stock market is open, but they're open essentially around the clock. So sometimes they're moving slower, but they still do move. And there's plenty of money to be made, even if you were to sit down at your computer at 3 a.m. Is it going to be as fast as it is when the stock market opens? No, but there's still enough movement. But yeah, I guess in a general sense, it's similar to stocks, but better because with stocks, right, the market closes, and unless something has earnings, then it's pretty much game over. Not so with futures. Sorry, man, I just randomly fell into this channel. Oh, that's cool. So, Hamster, have you ever heard of, the Clay Trader or anything like that, Hamster? Are you saying that the algorithm just kind of spit this out and told you that I was live? Are you familiar with True Trading? I am not. I'm gonna delete that out because I don't know anything about them, so I don't want people going and checking out for all I know some sort of scumbag operation. Do you trade micros? I trade both. I trade MNQ and NQ. Do you ever paper trade or live trade with a prop firm to show people how that? Bishop, yes. So as I was just showing MO Surge, if you go to my site, and then if you go to blog, so just go to my site, and then down at the bottom it says blog. So if you click on that, and then you click right here, there's lots of videos that show live trading that'll show what you're asking about, how the execution works. But also, I live stream when the markets are open, so that's another way. Or you can just go back and watch the archives, because every live stream is recorded and then put on the channel. So that's another way you could go about it. Iowa City. Gotcha. So no request to look at any markets or anything? Good question. So I'd still want to hear from Hamster. Hopefully Hamster's still here. That would be encouraging if he randomly falling onto the channel. That sounds good. It sounds like he's never heard of the channel, but the algorithm spit out this to him. So that's good. That's encouraging to know that. Yeah, we'll look at the SPY. Oh, Hamster, are you still here? Yeah, so SPY, in my opinion, I talked about this kind of already a couple times, but yeah, it's still all about this trend line right here. A lot of hoopla and drama out there, a lot of headlines, a lot of conflicting opinions. But at the end of the day, I think the best way to cut through all the conflicting opinions is just watch the chart, watch the price action. Everybody can say stuff, but what people do with their money is what's reflected on the chart. So as of right now, it's maintaining this trend line, but we are getting very, very close to it. And a break of this trend line, especially if it's a higher volume break, as always, nothing's guaranteed, but would it be shocking if that created a bigger move to the downside? It wouldn't. All right, Days for Trader. One request. That's the rule. One request, and then if you want more, $5 super chats. But or else we're at risk of nobody else getting a chance because somebody starts dropping tickers every 2 seconds. So let's calm our horses, D-Money Trader. Let's calm down. Is that a cat? Yeah, that's a cat. I thought maybe that was like a koala bear or something. Hamster. Been looking at getting a part-time job, starting a prop account and slow down on tickers while the trader wears it. So my hamster, just out of like from a business standpoint, you say you randomly found my channel. Have you never heard of the channel before? Did YouTube just like in your whatever you call it wall and did the algorithm just kind of throw it up, or have you like been to my page and stuff like that before, or are you completely just like because you made the word like you randomly dropped in, like you never been here, or you've never even heard of the channel or anything like that? I'm curious. Just when I say Clay Trader, had that meant anything to you until you saw a channel called Clay Trader? MLGO, are you still in this thing? Are you still in the MLGO? Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, MLGO, to be fair, it actually was hanging in there because up until today, you could make the argument, well, at least it's still maintaining above the purple line. At least it's still maintaining above the 50-period moving average, but now it's broken down below there. With that being said, to be fair, this has happened before, not as bad, but right here, the price did technically close below the purple line before a big move up. Now, does that mean that a big move up is going to occur on Monday? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, to keep it fair, maybe this was a fake breakdown, because over here, it was a fake breakdown too, but this is looking pretty rough right now on MLGO. Yeah, next area of support maybe around the 545 mark. All I'm asking, Hamster, is have you ever heard of Clay Trader before? That's all I'm asking. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm getting the impression you're sitting there scrolling on YouTube and then, oh, this channel is live, and you clicked on that, and then you're just on the channel. That's kind of the understanding of what I think you described. Is that an accurate understanding? Oh, that's not an accurate okay. Well, that's disappointing then. Because your original comment was, sorry, man, I just randomly fell into this channel. So randomly fell into this channel makes it seem like you never heard of the channel before. You were not looking for the channel, but then all of a sudden the algorithm spit it out at you. Man, sometimes this delay is a killer. I know there's like a 3 to 5 second delay. Yeah, this one is looking pretty rough here. Looking pretty rough. What indicators do I use? Candlesticks volume. I don't think, can I even log into, or is this still, no, still doing, okay, you can even see that. But yeah, over the weekend right now, Tradeovate, I would log in, but you can see up here, they're doing maintenance right now over the weekend, which is fair enough. I mean, it is the weekend. But I use the 50 period, 200 period, simple moving averages, 21, EMA, the VWAP, candlesticks, and I like me some trend lines. That's pretty much it. I'm logged in. Oh, really? You logged in? Well, we're at 2 hours. I'm going to go ahead and call it good for a coffee hour, or what are we calling this? Saturday morning coffee hour. So this was a good one. Had some lively discussions. Had some differing opinions. Unfortunately, at least with the one person, I don't think any opinions were changed, but it sounds like others of you are like, oh, really? Well, that sounds interesting. So hopefully you give it a try. But that is it was a good time. So as always, if you enjoy these, if you want me to keep doing these Saturday morning ones, make sure you hit that like button. That's the easy way to communicate that to me. I am offering a free webinar this upcoming Thursday. So if you would like that, you can use that link right there to get signed up for it. Yeah, this is what Mo Surge was referring to earlier. He was like, 73 trades, only one. I don't believe you. And I thought, yeah, I wouldn't believe me either. But it's 73 days. 73 days, and I only had one losing day. But remember, within a day, there can be losing trades. But yes, I would be just as skeptical as Mo Surge if somebody was saying, yeah, I had 73 trades, and only one of them was a loser. But yeah, that's not the claim here. It's days. So within a day, you can have losses. But yeah, you can sign up for that. I'll put the link there. And then if you'd like to join my private community, join me, other really quality traders, then here is a link for that. And then again, if you do want to get started with Pam's Plant, day trading futures through a prop firm, you can use the link that's tagged in the message on the chat box, or just to use the message or the link that you see up on the screen there, and code Clay if you want to help support the channel and take advantage of the current promotion. So that's all I have. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Happy Easter to everybody. And find yourself a church. Go to that church. It's Easter. That's a good thing. So take care. Have a good one. And I'll see everybody back Monday at the very latest, 11 a.m. Eastern on Monday. Have a good one, everybody.